This isn't just a van, it's like a little cross between a hobbit house and a Vado. This is everything that we have dreamed up of, a place where we want to live that's actually movable, that feels like a home, not just like a kind of modern whitewash kind of Instagram camper van. We wanted this to feel like our home and represent who we are. And we've done so much on it, even just in the last week. We've done little improvements and little bits. As you do when you're in a van, you're constantly changing. So without further ado, we'll start with outside, and I'll take you through and show you every little bit of our gorgeous little country house on wheels.
So this is our living room area, because we wanted a van that had two rooms, and the kitchen converts into a bedroom, which we'll talk about in a second. But little Lenny in the middle of our living room. So this little log burner is absolutely epic in the winter. It keeps us so warm and toasty. In fact, it's like a sauna in here in the winter. A lot of people have diesel heaters and things like that. We didn't want one. We wanted a little Lenny, a little log burner. It's so cool. It's so easy to use. We've got a wood storage here, so all our wood and everything goes in there. Wilson's in there, the fan. If you've seen us before, you'll know Wilson is. He sits on top of there and makes it even hotter than it already is. But yeah, little Lenny is just epic. If you want a little burner from Little Burners, we'll leave a link in the description, because they're well worth the investment. But instead of having a TV like most people, we don't watch TV at all. We stopped watching TV a long time ago. And because we live our lives on the road, you're kind of out of that whole mainstream media cycle, and so we sit around Lenny in the winter watching him burn away. And you can't use him in the summer, obviously, but it's still nice to look at. It's still aesthetically nice, and we've designed our seating around this, what do you call it, focal feature? Is it a feature? Is that what you call it? A focal point, around this focal point feature. Ta-da! So this is our living room area.
This is our new little addition, our new bench seat. And then under there, we've got the new toilets. That's the toilet we talked about the other week. It's absolutely fantastic. It's still going strong from BOTO. Absolutely fantastic toilet. And then on here, this is just like our wall of stuff. This is like our
the wall of fame.
Yeah, this is like our bedroom used to be, basically. We always had things up on the wall, and I didn't want to change that. I didn't want this to become where you couldn't bring the bits of you into your home. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, it's a small space, you've got to do without things. And the best thing about having a Ford Transit of this size is that the payload on it is so much bigger. So you're able to carry so much more before you reach your 3.5 ton. We're still way underweight, even with everything that we've got in here. So we've got this wooden wall that kind of separates the front cab to the back. I know a lot of people like to have it open, and we have toyed with that ourselves because it would give us so much more space. But for me, that would feel like we are in a van then, and I don't want to feel like I'm in a van. When I come back into the back of here, I feel like it's completely separate from the driving bit. I feel like I'm just in a little tiny country cottage, hobbit house. It just feels so cosy and lovely. And we've got lots of old little things that we've just adapted. So this is an old vintage cupboard that one of our friends gave us that sort of hides all our electrical sockets and the plug sockets and things like that. It's got a little drawer at the top to keep all his electricals in. We've got these old kind of, modern version of these old sort of carriage lamps. And inside those we have these. You can wire them in, obviously you could have them wired in, but we wanted to kind of make sure again that we're being we conserve as much electricity where possible, because there's things that mean more to us to have running. So we've now got ourselves a freezer and a fridge, and it's more important to us to have those running than it is to have lights like running all the time. So basically these solar power up on their own, and we can have these switched on a night time. You can plug them in and charge them up as well. But it's less messing about kind of doing all the wiring and everything else. They just get put inside there, and that's really nice, because when you've got them glowing on a night time, it's so much like just being sat in a cottage in the middle of the woods. That's how it feels, because we are sat in a cottage, often parked up in the middle of woods. We've got these little containers that house all the little bits and bats that we need. This is my little witchy one that's got all of my little spell things in and all of my crystals, and I'm really into like crystal therapy and stuff like that, so it's got all of that in there as well. And then all this has got as acorns in for us to be able to use in Lenny. That's what we use to do as like fire starters, so we don't have to buy fire lighters. And then we've got all jewellery and Reese's what they call it, Reece?
Native American style flute.
Your Native American flute, basically, style flute. So it plays that as well when we're out in the woods, and that's really nice.
He plays it brilliantly as well, doesn't he?
You do play it brilliantly.
He's absolutely
you do.
epic
It's
on
really
that.
relaxing.
He's unbelievable.
And that's the sort of stuff people say to us, like, well, what do you do if you don't have TV or you don't watch TV? We do have a projector screen. I think we've probably used it like twice so far. We don't tend to watch anything really. Like we bought that thinking, oh, it'll be great, we can sit out and watch it. And we have done occasionally, but it's more of like when you go to the cinema.
Like a cinema night,
You know,
isn't it?
yeah, if you'd want a cinema night, something like that,
A movie
it's more
night.
for that purpose. We don't sit and watch it every
Bloody
day.
brilliant.
We'll play the flute, or Reece will play the flute, or he'll play the handpan. I sit making things, so I'll do a lot of like leather crafting and little bits like that, and making lots of little things, and it just passes the time, you know. It just kind of, it's a nice thing. You're talking while you're making and crafting as well. Then we've got us hats up here on these absolutely ginormous hooks. We got these from a shop that was closing down. One of our friends' shops that was closing down, and we went over and picked these up. They didn't cost us a penny, and I absolutely love these. They're just really oversized and I love them. And then we've got our little cross up here, which were given to us by another friend, along with this tie back, and she gave us something else as well. It kind of all together made up like a kind of witchy you know, spell basically. We've got a little door here as well that goes into the front cab. It's only for emergencies, but if we ever needed it, we can get through and get straight into the front cab through this door here. And then we've got these old kind of pictures. So we had one of these done when we were in Ibiza at Lestalius Market, which is like a little hippie market. And it's one of those where it puts your picture into like an old newspaper. And we had it for years and years. And then when we went to Edinburgh, they were doing them in Edinburgh as well. So we had another one done in Edinburgh. So we've put those in these little frames. And then this one houses all our electrics, so it just keeps all of that modern stuff hidden away, like we have done with the plug sockets. It just keeps it all hidden away. These we actually found inside our kitchen cupboard. When we first got our kitchen cupboards for the van, they're actually part of an old larder unit, and we found those hidden inside the little kind of the backs of the drawers and stuff, and I took them out and was like, we've got to use them, we've got to use those inside the van and keep hold of them. So it's just little things, you know, that you've collected over time. So these have been a fairly recent addition really. So they're on carpet, they're lined at the bottom with like the three-way stretch carpet that you get for vans and stuff. And they slide out so easily because of that. And inside these we can keep like all those clothes, and you've so much space because it's all packed in. The lid lifts up, but it also acts as kind of dual purpose. So anything that you get in a van, to me, has to have at least 2 uses, if not more. So this one particularly acts as a step to get up into the bed. And then when we pull them out, we can push one into this corner here, which then makes this into more of an L shape. We can pull them out and line them up together, which makes at least a single bed, like a large single bed. And we also then can put his feet up, and you've just got like a really big corner to sit and chill out and lounge on as well. So they've got so many uses. Oh, and we use them as dining room tables as well. So I'll show you where they go, but we use one each to sit on as our seats for our dining room table if we fancy sitting and having a proper meal. One of the things that we actually changed quite recently, maybe a few months ago, or maybe I might remember that 6 months ago now, but when we got Lenny fitted, Lenny's owners also have a van, and they also live in a van, and so they told us about their seating, and they'd got the what do you call it, the webbing that goes underneath your seating, like on a sofa, and they'd use that as for their seating in their van. I thought, what a great idea, because it saves on weight. You've not got any wood that you're putting underneath your seating, plus it's got give and spring in it, so it feels like a proper sofa. So I did that, and I bought some of this webbing, and I just basically kind of screwed it down, and it's obviously there's no weight to it. So instead of having a big piece of wood going across the top, we've got this webbing going all the way across, and it just gives this seating much more like giving it, and it's so much more comfortable. It feels like a proper sofa, and it's really like cosy and comfortable.
Right, this isn't like your normal walkthrough vlog. Let's just pause for a second, right? And I'll tell you why it's not like your normal walkthrough vlog. Because it's about 163 degrees. That's what it is. No, it is, Emma. I've just got, we're at a park up here, and I've noticed a public toilet thing there, and I've just absolutely drenched myself. in water because I can't breathe.
It keeps
I can't
running
breathe.
off.
I keep running off to go drench myself in water.
Keeps
don't I,
running
Emma?
off every 5 minutes to go and cover himself in water because he's like absolutely boiling
Absolutely
and dripping.
boiling.
I did put makeup on and made an effort today to put some makeup on because I thought I can't be showing how gorgeous this van is when I look like death warmed up. So I put a
you
bit
don't
of
look like
makeup
death
on
warmed
today and it's all just melted off my face. Like I might as well not have bothered. I'm constantly doing this before I'm getting... So we're just going to admit defeat. We're literally sweating and we're red hot.
Admit defeat. We thought, oh, we'll be right professional and
We
like.
can't do it.
We watch these van life vlogs, don't we, Emma?
We're
Like, how do
rubbish
you
at
do
it,
it?
Reece.
How do you do a full tour? We're like, right, let's do it proper professional.
I've
proper
said from the
professional,
beginning,
and I'm like,
we're-
no, just stop it.
We're rubbish
Stop
YouTubers.
right there.
We're absolutely rubbish. We can't be professional. It is what it is, innit? But we do want to show you it. We do want to show
We
you
do,
this absolutely
honestly.
gorgeous cabin on wheels because it is, and we're so proud of it.
We are proud of it.
And we put
It's
a lot of
epic.
effort into it. It's taken us a long time to get it to where it is, and it's always growing. You know, it's always changing and growing, and you know. But just it's hard to explain to you as well everything that we've done with it because it's a lot of little touches that we've put over time. Like when I got these, Reece were like, "What are you doing, Emma? Why
What's
are you
that?
getting these in the van?"
I don't understand
But
it.
I have like little battery-powered lights that I put on there, and the little kind of candles, but the battery-powered candles. And so I just sit them on there on a night time, and we just have these out, and it lights it up with these little candles, and it looks so beautiful. And we've got like a little basket with all his blankets in and things like that. It's the little touches that I think females are probably in general a bit better at, you know, although I've met some men that are very, very good at like interior design and stuff, have had way better ideas than me.
Not me. She's not
Reece.
talking about me.
I'm not talking about Reece, no. And then we've got like our little collection of like all our postcards, and if you've been watching us for a long time, you'll see that we pick up postcards wherever we go. We haven't even got them all in the van yet, but we're gonna find a place to put them. But we've got all our little postcards. We've got like all little pictures of family and friends and little things that just make it feel like you're taking your family with you on a trip. You're taking your friends with you on the road. You know, wherever you're going, you've got a little piece of your home and your family and your friends all with you, travelling with you. And I think that's why you don't get homesick or anything. Like a lot of people say, oh, when you move into a van, do you start getting homesick? Like, do you miss being in bricks and mortar and stuff? And no, you don't. Well, I don't, because I think it just feels very much like you're already in your home. It's just travelling around with you. You know, I've got some beautiful artwork that like Reece has done me on leather as presents and things like that, that's all up on the wall. We've just got little bits everywhere that just makes it feel like us.
We always dreamt of having 2 rooms in a van. Because we've been doing van life, if you're new here, we've been doing van life for 14 years. We've had loads of different vans, and we wanted this to be our dream van, like totally us. And one thing we wanted was to always have 2 rooms. So we've got obviously the living room area here. And then there's doors, so we put these. Emma loves building walls. She's absolutely obsessed with building walls. So she built one wall there and one wall there, and then we've got doors that fold, and that curtain goes across, and that then takes you through into the kitchen, which we'll talk about in a bit. If you're new here and you haven't seen the last episode, that is actually the bed, you're looking at it, which again we'll explain in a second. But then we've got 2 rooms, meaning that one of us can kind of sit in there and read a book or whatever, and then the other one can either be in the kitchen or be in bed, because this is essentially the bedroom as well as the kitchen.
And you can actually set up a sofa in that kitchen. So these boxes that we showed you earlier underneath, those go over, and we can put like 2 next to each other or 3 next to each other, and we can create an L shape or a straight across seat in there. So you can just sit in there like a little reading nook, and you can just sit and read a book and enjoy reading a book while the other person's in here being able to do whatever they want to do. You know, you've got that bit of space. So if you fall out, if you've got a reason he's doing your head in, you can stick him in there to read a book and give him a bit of time out.
That's my naughty step, isn't it, Emma? That's my naughty step in there. That's how I go when I've been naughty. We're just discussing what we're meant to do. Like, what are you actually meant to do when you're doing a tour? Emma says, should we show them that? I went, I don't know. She's like, I don't know if we're supposed to like show them everything. Come on, Emma. Right, look at this. So these pull out here.
think you're meant to do this as like an overlay, you know,
Are
like
you?
on Instagram.
I'm getting it wrong.
Here's one I showed earlier. I don't think you're actually meant to show us sliding them across floor and looking unkempt.
Why? I'll get this one.
Because I think it's meant to
Look
be
at
like...
that. Wee.
I think you're meant to...
Wee.
I think
Like
these
Chuckle
are
Brothers.
literally so easy to slide
It's like
across.
Chuckle
though,
Brothers, this,
genuinely.
Emma.
And they've got little handles on as well to make it easier.
They're so light and they just slide effortlessly. Like that, look at that. And then there's another sofa at back. The sofa's everywhere now, Emma.
And then you can obviously add an extra one on there as well if you want to be able to make it into an L shape. But basically, we'll just kind of put as cushions across here. Here's one I made earlier, but not done as well because Reese put it on
I know.
before it
Just go with the flow,
meant
Emma.
to. It wasn't meant to do that yet. Right, hang on.
Oh, look at that. Look at her demonstrating that now.
There you go. This is the shot they're meant to get. Or me holding a book here. So I'm meant to sit like this. And I'm meant to be holding a book here to
You don't
show.
even read.
Well, I know, baby. That's what you're meant to do, innit?
You don't even like reading.
That's
She's
what-
making out like she sits there
I
reading
know,
endless
but
books.
that's what you're meant to do. You're meant to sit here like that and hold like your little battery candle to show that you're reading while you're... What? These are my battery candles that I use on my candle holder. You're meant to sit here with a candle and look like you're doing something. This is meant to be an overlay shot, Reese.
Right, well,
Honestly.
hang on then. We'll get sit back down. We'll get some cinematic overlay. There we go. Cinematic overlay, Emma. A lot of people comment on our ceiling, how nice our ceiling is. It's just fabric that we picked up ages ago on the road, and then it's glued up, and then it's also battened on and screwed into the ceiling so that it can't come down. But loads of people comment on that, and then everything that you see around Romany. So if you're new here, we call our van Romany. I forgot to say that. Like, look, Wells, 6th of the 4th, 23. Like, all these little things, these little knickknacks, as Emma called them. Oh, we'll tell you about that butterfly in a second. But all these, like, they're all stories. Portugal.
Yeah, we got them tiles from Portugal in an old little shop, didn't we?
Our little mascot, our Romany Pirates mascot. Like, everything tells a story. Les Dalias, Ibiza,
These are from...
Edinburgh,
that one's from Glastonbury.
Glastonbury.
And then we've got the little handle down there. Have you mentioned that one?
So we got this little handle down here. There he is, look. So that was from London, wasn't it? When we went to London, we came across a guy on a canal boat.
We were on a canal and we met this guy and he was selling like little things outside on a little bench. Just a few little bits that he'd collected, things that he'd made, and we bought that off him. Quite expensive actually, but I think it was just that he was selling bits to make some money for himself, so you don't begrudge it, do you? And we were chatting away to him. Each little item either reminds us of a place that we've been to, or it reminds us of a person that we've met on the road. So we're kind of not just carrying our own family and our friends that we know well. I feel like we're carrying people with us that we've met on the road along the way.
Stories of people that you meet on the road, like, is just incredible. It's what makes life and living on the road so good, because you get these moments where it's just a memory or a place you've been to and there's a story behind it.
And if you watched an episode a while back now, when I went to see the Highland cows and I went to actually have a date with a Highland cow, you'll remember that a friend of mine, Mary, she'd passed away and we dedicated that vlog to Mary. And this is a picture of Mary and her husband Dave, and when they were younger, a lot younger. And when I looked at that picture, this is actually off her memorial card, I think you call them, from the funeral, and I cut it out and I saved it because this just made me really think about the fact that life is so short, you know. Mary were like full of life when I met her, absolutely full of life. She constantly had this sort of little Jack Russell attitude to her where, you know, you didn't mess with her, but she'd do anything for anybody, and, you know, she were always doing everything for everybody, and she were constantly busy running around. And when I looked at that and I thought, you know, by the time she passed away, she couldn't do very much at all. She was really, really struggling with her health. She was very unwell and still only a young woman, you know, still only in her 60s. And I looked at this picture and it just made me think about, we're young one minute, aren't we? And then the next minute we're not. and we're full of life one minute and the next minute we're not. And so I keep that up there, so I keep watching, looking down on me when I'm in my van, and just to remind me that life is short, you know, and before you know it, it's gone like that. And so you have to live it every single moment of every day, don't you, you know?
Shall we show them actually, Emma, how these doors shut so they can see like the separate rooms?
I can do, Reece.
Do
If
it,
you would
Emma.
like me to do that,
Yeah, I would.
can
I'd love
do
you
it.
to do that.
I will close this curtain as well. I won't close it yet because you won't be able to see me open the doors then. But this curtain, actually, again, this is net that we bought in Spain, in Ajivia. In Ajivia in Spain, we got this piece of net and made like a little curtain out of it. So this would have been hung up in some Spanish house, vintage, so it would have been hung up for years and years and years in some Spanish house somewhere. So yeah, basically for our doors, they unhook off the side. They have little tiny hooks on here that just hook to the wall. They unhook. They're dual purpose again. This one holds all our tea, coffee and sugar and all that sort of thing.
Which somebody pointed out on the last vlog. Does our broom stuff end up in the living room? Yes, it does end up in the living room.
Yeah, it
That's
does.
thought of.
So it's thought of because obviously on a night time, once you go to bed and we shut these doors, and we primarily built these doors so Daisy didn't fall out of bed because a curtain, obviously she could still fall down. And so once this goes into the living room area, like so, then that gives us once it's shut, so that there's coffee and teas in the living room, because that's where one of us will be sat if one of us is in bed, basically. And then the other door shuts like that. And rude, so rude.
Loser.
And are you going to show him?
Look,
Where?
now I'm in kitchen by myself.
Let me shut you in. There you go.
Well, now I'm in kitchen. I can't get the angle of it properly. But look at that. Look at that. And then from the living room side, let me come through, Emma. So it's like a saloon, isn't it? I feel like a cowboy. Right. So this is what. Oh, I nearly fell then.
Ta-da!
And so now you've just got a little separate living room.
And so when we sat down, if I'm sat up on an evening and Reese is in bed, because we've got a portable cooker and kettle, we can just like literally bring the kettle in here with the cooker, with the gas canisters. It's not plumbed in anywhere. That means that we can actually have tea, you know, a cup of tea in the living room as well while we're sat here. And we can also access, even though you do have to crawl, but you can access the fridge and all that sort of thing from under the bed as well, because the bed comes down to about this height, so there's plenty of room to get underneath to access all the food in the cupboards and anything else if you, like me, and fancy like a midnight snack randomly and you haven't got anything out ready.
John on toast, Emma. John on toast.
Right, let me put this away. These doors though, they do have, like I say, it's really important in a van to make sure you've got multiple purpose for everything. So these doors, obviously one of them houses us tea and coffee. The other one has like a mirror on it, so the light, if you're ever trying to do your makeup in a van, the light is an absolute nightmare. So we can slide these across, and then we have this little mirror on here so that depending on where the light is in the van, wherever we're parked up, I can actually do some makeup. And then behind it we've got all of my jewellery, incense sticks, all that sort of thing, all stored away behind this little door.
So we have two maxi fans as well, keep us nice and cool. We have windows there.
I thought you were going to point to me and say we have an Emma.
We do have an Emma. We have an Emma. We've got Daisy's little. Hiya, Daisy. Daisy's little house in there. She's on a cool mat. And then the kitchen. So this is Gretel 2.0. We'll talk about Gretel, the original Gretel, later down the line in another kind of series that we've got planned. But we've got 2-ring cooker stove. We don't have in Romany the proper like gas fitting thing. We just use those camping gas things. It's just easier, and I don't particularly like gas piped up, just a personal preference. But it's done, isn't it? And we can cook on little Lenny as well. We've got a sink here that you just press that button. Fresh running water, which again is in the back.
And it's a nice deep sink as well. A lot of places
Yeah,
don't have. See, Reese will rush you through this kitchen like, oh, we just have this, we just have that, we just have, because he hates, he's not interested
It's just a sink, Emma.
It's not just a sink, Reese. For people who are having a van and need to wash up, there is no worse than having these little camping sinks that are like this deep and you can't wash up in them. We do have the tap is quite far down into because we have to have the bed fold down over the top of it. So obviously the tap had to be sunk down, but you'd never fill your washing up bowl right up anyway. Everything's sealed and protected anyway, but obviously even half filling this sink, you've got so much water and so much room in there to be able to wash up, which is great. Right, let's explain these cupboards, Reese. You're good at explaining these cupboards. You've done these before.
Cupboards?
Explain these cupboards. Why are these cupboards good?
Yeah. So this is an original 1970s, I think, larder unit that's cut in two. So that side and that side used to be one unit. I'll rephrase that. Emma and Emma's stepdad cut these in half. And this, because it's an old larder unit, it's also very, very cool for your food. So it's the old white kind of...
It's metal, isn't it, basically? It's lined with metal and it's painted white. And so, even in red hot heat, this stays quite cool. I'm not going to light it. It can't be a fridge if it's 35 degrees.
No, it can't be a fridge in this heat.
But if you're in the winter, you do not need your fridge on. We turn the fridge off in the winter and we don't waste electricity, which is great because you're not getting any solar in the winter, more really, to call out. So you can actually use this as your fridge and not waste any electric in the winter time. They've also got these really clever little holes in them, which are vented, so that therefore you're getting airflow in your cupboard so things don't go off as easily and that sort of thing as well. That it's just ingenious design from past times, isn't it? Why change something that worked, you know? And we don't have anything like this anymore. I don't think you get proper larder units like this anymore where they're lined out with the white metal and stuff, and it's so good for keeping things cool. But in a van you have to make use of every little bit of space. So down here underneath the unit, we've actually cut the unit to go over the top of the wheel arch, and in doing that brings a lot of cold up because there's no insulation where the wheel arch is. It's obviously allowing all the air to come up. There's also a hole at this side at the back as well, so nothing can get into the van, but you've got air getting into the van basically from there. So this is all Daisy's dog food basically stored under there, and that just keeps it all fresh. So we don't have to store it in a fridge, or unless it's open, we don't have to put it in a fridge. We have our pans in this cupboard and a little shelf on the top for like Tupperware dishes and things like that. So there's plenty of storage in there. We also have all our plates and what have you in that one, and we keep our gas bottles that we're using at the time in there. We've got in this one just our cutlery, and in this one we've got our cups and glasses, and in the bottom one we've got a Daisy. And then underneath the sink we've built in just storage really more than anything else. So at the bottom we've got all our BOTO stuff for our toilet, washing up liquid, bin liners, wipes, things like that. Some more spare gas bottles in there, just so that we've got a few to hand and we don't have to keep going to the gas storage in the boot all the time if one runs out. And then just like sweeping, things like, there's still plenty of space in there to get more in there if we wanted to as well.
Look at this. I was moaning that I'm too warm, so Emma said, hey, I've got this in the fridge. I look like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, don't I, Emma?
They're brilliant.
1990s. What?
It's the best thing I've
Donatello.
ever bought. If anybody's got like chronic illness, honestly, get yourself one of these. We've got, if you look on Amazon, you'll find our Amazon, we've got like a kind of recommended lists on Amazon, and I've put this on there. It's one of the best things I have ever bought. The cheaper versions are no good. It's about £20 odd, so it's not really cheap. But it's absolutely fantastic. You put it in the freezer and it just makes your head so cold, and it soothes all your eyes. You can lift it up over your eyes, but you can put it down over your eyes as well. It's absolutely brilliant.
That's not a sponsor, by the way. It's just genuinely good. There's lots more to the kitchen that's very clever, that Emma's come up with, obviously, not me. One of our favourite things to do in winter is to cook jacket potatoes in Lenny. You can also put a little kettle on top of Lenny as well, but jacket potatoes in him are great. But then, as I say, we've got this 2-ring little stove. We've got the Kettle 2.0. All this brew making stuff in there, carbon monoxide detectors, and then we've got these little lights that come on. I think they need charging. Again, I can't remember where we got these. These tell a story, but I can't remember where we got them from. I think I were at a car boot sale once. And then this is where it gets very very clever really. So we used to have a big sink across here, we took that out. And then we've got suitcases which are absolutely rammed with clothes, and these boxes which I think you get from like IKEA, that just hold loads of stuff. That's like 2 deep in there. We've got fridge and freezer, that's the freezer, and the fridge is the same. More storage there, it's just storage everywhere. We've got these little baskets which hold like vitamins and usually fruit and things like that. A little lantern that I bought Emma. This is a lovely little place in Portugal called Alt, and this little thing were from like an old antique shop, and he said that this had been in there years and nobody had ever bought it, and now we went swimming in there, so we bought that as a memory. Oh, this is cool. So this unhooks here and slides, can't do it one-handed, slides like so, to become a dining room table there. How good's that? And then these little boxes that Emma showed you earlier, one slides there, and you can sit and have an evening meal. But what's really, really clever about that is that this pulls out to here, and then this is the bed. So if you saw the last episode, you'll know that this is the bed. This folds down onto here so that the whole kitchen becomes the bedroom, essentially. And this is another reason why we had these doors done like they are, because then when it shuts, that whole space becomes your bedroom area, which means little Daisy, who's still snoring away down there, can't fall out. But if you do want to watch the full bed episode, it's the one before this, as to how the whole bed system works. Isn't it, Emma?
It is, and when you're doing your editing, you can sit on your own.
Yeah,
as well,
you can use this little table to sit and do your editing. It just clips on there. So easy I can do it one-handed. Emma said I need to show you these sticks that she's made that stop everything falling out. So she's really, really good at making sticks. Look, she's got like little jewels and gems in them and stuff. But yeah, just 2 sticks that we've varnished up, cleaned up, and Emma's put her little gems in. But that stops all this like falling out basically when you're driving. Another little genius idea. I think, is that it?
Is that it?
What else is there? Do you want to quickly explain about power, how we get our power? Because
our power, yeah,
you're good at stuff like that.
So we've got, I showed you these earlier, we've got our 12 volt sockets hidden behind here. So we've got a cigarette lighter socket, we've got some USB sockets in there, same in that side as well. We've got our lights, so these basically just control the lights. We don't have anything else wired up to it, just the lights. And then we've got in this cupboard, in our little vintage cupboard, which our friend Sharon gave me, we've got our 3-point plug sockets in there, and again some more USB sockets in there which you can access from underneath there. We've moved this higher up once we built this bench seat in. It did used to house the plug sockets like inside, and this was the other way around, but then when you sat on here you hit your head, so we've had to sort of alter it a little bit and change it around. Where is all our electrics? Most people would have it under a bench seat in here, or they'd have it in the garage area in the back, but I decided that I didn't want it to take up any room. It's an annoying thing, isn't it, that you've got to have, but you don't want it to take up any room. So basically we've got our batteries that are stored in the front, and we are actually going to sort of do a vlog telling you about those batteries and what have you, because we have been given those batteries. We're not going to tell you about them in this vlog, but we have been gifted those batteries and we're testing them out at the minute. So if they're absolutely rubbish, you won't see a vlog on it, but if they're good, then you will see a vlog on it. So we're going to test them out. We like to test everything out before we ever show anybody anything, but we've got around about 640 amp hours of power in this van now. So we've normally lived off 200 amp hours of lithium, which is quite good anyway, because obviously with lithium you can use most of the battery storage, whereas with like AGM or lead acid, you can't use like the most of the storage in the battery. You can only use like 50%. Whereas with lithium, it's fine, you can use nearly all what's in there. So we did used to get by on 200 and that were fine, but now, thanks to being gifted these batteries, we've got 640 amp hours, which is massive. So I don't think we're going to be running out of electric anytime soon, basically. And then we've got an inverter, which is here. So our batteries are underneath the cab seat, and our inverter is behind the cab seat, and that powers obviously a socket, 2 sockets here and 1 socket over by where the table is in the kitchen area, because if you're sitting down doing editing you need to put a plug in there. So we've got a socket over there. We've got an MPPT Renogy which is absolutely fantastic. And we've just upgraded and got ourselves some new solar panels, which I'm really excited about. So we've got the Renogy Shadow Flux solar panels. They're absolutely fantastic. We've got a DC to DC charger that is Victron. I've taken over the camera work. Reese is absolutely boiling. It's gone to wash his face again. So as I was saying, we've also got the DC to DC charger because our van has a smart alternator. Therefore, we have to have a DC to DC charger instead of a split charge relay. So they're more expensive. We got the Victron one of those, so we didn't get the Renogy version, we got the Victron version. There was a reason for that, and that's because you don't have to wire it up to your ignition or anything like that. It just automatically detects when your van is on and when it's off. So therefore that basically takes from your alternator and charges up your battery bank while you're driving. And again, that's been absolutely fantastic as well, and we've never had a problem with that. What I might do is actually leave you a link to our shop on our like storefront thing, if you like, our recommended lists that we've got on Amazon, because it's got nearly all of the stuff that we've got in the van is on that shop, including things that we've had before, like our old flexible solar panels and things like that. But when it comes to the Renogy stuff, I'll put in like a separate link, because for the Renogy stuff we do have a discount code that you can use, which will get you some money off if you did want to get any of those things. But so far I'm well excited by my solar panels. Absolutely brilliant. I can't believe how much they're bringing in. But yeah, so that's our setup basically. If you're not into kind of your electronic stuff, that will be very boring for you, but all of it is stored between the back seat and this wall behind me. That's where everything is stored. It's absolutely fantastic to me using that space, because we've never had any problems with like the batteries getting too warm or anything like that, because there's loads of space around them. So it's open to then this back wall, which is then open to air, because we've got like a hole that basically goes through to that front cab. So you've got a lot of airflow that's going around them all the time. That's basically our setup in terms of electricity, and that's for us to be able to run our 12 volt ceiling lights, our 12 volt fans, plug in anything that we want. It runs our water pump, obviously. We've just got a submersible water pump. What else do we run in terms of electrics? A fridge, a freezer, and just like when we're charging our laptops up, things like that, I suppose. It's back.
I'm absolutely melting. I've just put my head under the sink, Emma.
Do you feel better now?
I've just put my head under the sink.
You feel a lot better?
Yeah, it's absolutely boiling, isn't it? Hey, I like it warm, but not this warm. Oh, there's warm and there's warm, isn't there?
Do you want some din-din?
Daisy! She's hiding in there. Daisy! She won't come out.
Do you want to eat
It's like, no, I'm cool in here, man.
Are you going to eat?
We also have an awning, which, because we do mainly like, call it wild camping, but it's not wild camping, it's sleeping in your vehicle. But because we do like lay-bys and stuff, any, you know, what you call wild camping basically. I don't know any other name for it, but we've got an awning obviously, but we don't use it, like we wouldn't put that up in a lay-by or anything like that. And then a recent addition is windows in the bedroom. So this is our bedroom area, and yeah, we've recently had these windows fitted, which is where our head is when we sleep, which makes it a lot cooler in temperatures like this. So if you saw that video of when we fitted the windows, when Emma and Phil fitted the windows, then yeah, that's why we basically did it, is so that we could be cool when we're in bed. We have got the maxi fan in the bedroom area when it gets converted into a bed, but it's just made a world of difference, because it creates like a tunnel, like an airflow. Obviously it's safety in the van, so as I said, we've got carbon monoxide detectors and smoke alarms, but we've also got fire blanket, fire distinguisher. These are all little tools that we picked up for Lenny, so you can sit there in winter time and get your fire going and stuff. I mean, if you want to watch the video where we fitted the windows, the video where we show fully, as I say, how the bed gets set up, that was the last one, how the bed gets set up. And the toilet, we've just got a brand new toilet, which is absolutely epic. For those of you that have been following that kind of sideline story, it's working absolutely brilliantly. Can't fault the thing at all. Massive game changer for us. So I absolutely love the toilet. What else would you want to know about? You'll have noticed we haven't shown you the shower yet. If you're new here and you're going, well, where do you shower? We don't shower in Romany. We have got a shower that fits on the back, but we don't use it. And the reason we don't use it is because there's free showers everywhere, especially in the UK, Europe as well, but especially in the UK. There's free showers everywhere. So if you want to know where we get a free hot shower, then if you look down, you'll see about 4 videos back, it says hot showers, free hot showers anywhere in the UK, and that's how we shower basically. So we don't actually need a shower in Romany. So our van is built for life on the road. Like that's how it's built. 14 years of trial and error with different layouts, different vans, and the good thing about Romany is she fits in a normal supermarket car park space, no problem. But we've got a living room, a kitchen, a 7-foot bed, and yeah, she's great to drive, and she's everything that we need her to be. Is she basic? Yeah, but that's how we like it. We haven't fitted a cooker, we haven't fitted a shower, there's no diesel heater in Romany, but it's just so raw, do you know what I mean? Like making a fire, not that I'm very good at it, those of you that'll follow us know what that means, but making a fire in the winter while you're looking at the mountains in Scotland is just everything that life for us is about, you know. If you're thinking about doing van life yourself and you're thinking, oh, I'll need this and that, you don't. We started really basic, as I've said in other vlogs before, and we've now got a van that we're so proud of. It's like a log cabin on wheels. It's so comfortable. We've got our L-shaped sofa, we've got a massive bed, we've got cooking facilities. We can go off-grid in Romany for, well, endlessly. She'll constantly give us power. We don't need electricity, like we don't need any of those stuff. We don't need hookup, we don't need to be on campsites or anything like that. Like, it's just life on the open road, and that's what makes this van, for us, the best van we've ever had. She's so cosy, she's so warm in the winter. Like, we're not freezing and we don't have to listen to the tat-tat-tat-tat-tat of a diesel heater. She's everything that we want it to be. If you've got any questions, because there'll be things that we've missed, I'm sure, and if you've got any questions, just bang them in the comments and we'll always do our best to help. We'll always do our best to answer them. She's good on fuel, by the way, because that's probably a question that people ask. Like, she's really good on fuel in terms of the mechanics of a van. But yeah, if you've got any questions, just feel free to ask. If you've liked this video and you want to see the utter madness that sometimes is Romany Pirates life on the road, then follow along, subscribe, and yeah, I guess thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on Tuesday at 8 PM for another vlog. And until then, guys, keep writing your own story.